Have you ever felt like life at this stage should be simpler, calmer, maybe even more fulfilling? And yet, there are days when something just feels a little off. You go about your routine, wake up, have breakfast, do a few things here and there, and still, by evening, you feel like the joy's gone a little dim. Like something's been quietly draining your energy, your peace, your sense of aliveness. If that resonates with you, you're not alone. You see, many of us walk into our senior years thinking the hardest part is over. We've raised families, built careers, faced losses and triumphs alike. But what no one really prepares us for are the silent habits, the ones that seem small, harmless even, but end up stealing away our happiness, our health, and sometimes our sense of purpose. These habits don't shout, they whisper. They disguise themselves as rest or routine or even being realistic. And slowly, gently, they chip away at the vitality we spent a lifetime building. That's why in this video, I want to talk to you, heart to heart, about 5 things that might be holding you back without you even realizing it. These aren't complicated medical concepts or dramatic life changes. They're subtle choices we make each day. And here's the powerful part. Once you spot them, you can change them. You can reclaim energy, reignite joy, and feel truly alive again in a way that feels grounded, real, and meaningful. If you're watching this and thinking of someone you love, a parent, a friend, or even your spouse, who might need to hear this too, I gently ask you to share this video with them. Because sometimes all it takes is a small message like this to spark a new beginning, a better chapter. Now let's begin. And I want to start with something that almost all of us do, especially when we're tired, or hurting, or simply overwhelmed. We stop moving. We sit a little longer in that chair. We tell ourselves we'll walk tomorrow. We mean well, of course we do, but slowly, day by day, the body begins to forget what it once knew. Muscles soften, balance falters. The stairs that used to feel manageable suddenly seem like mountains. And here's the truth. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual surrender. One missed walk, then another. And soon the body follows the habit. But it's not just about physical strength. It's about independence, confidence, the ability to go out, do the groceries, pick up the mail, even get up from the couch without fear. The loss of movement is not just a muscle issue, it's a freedom issue. I've watched people I care about lose that freedom, not from an accident, not from illness, but from this quiet letting go of movement, and it breaks my heart. The beautiful thing is, it doesn't take a gym membership or a marathon. It starts with 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes of walking, stretching, or simply standing and moving your arms gently while breathing deeply. Your body doesn't expect perfection. It only craves consistency. Like a garden that flourishes with just a little attention each day, your strength can return, your energy can return, if you show up for it, even in the smallest ways. And while we're here, if you're still watching this video, I want to thank you. It means a lot to know that you're taking this journey seriously, for yourself or for someone you care about. If you're nodding along, if this is resonating, just leave a comment below that says, "I'm still here." It lets me know we're walking this path together. Now let's talk about something else we do, almost without noticing. We retreat. We pull back from the world, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once. One day we decide not to join the group for coffee. The next week we skip the call. Then before we know it, days go by, then weeks, and the silence settles in like dust. There's no dramatic moment, no announcement, just a slow fading out. And it makes sense, doesn't it? As we age, our energy shifts, our social circles change. People move away, some we love pass on, and we tell ourselves it's just easier this way. Succumb. But is it really? Because that silence, it's not just the absence of noise, it becomes the absence of laughter, of shared memories, of being seen and heard. I once knew a man, bright, funny, full of life, who stopped coming to the community dinners. Said he was tired, then he stopped answering calls. By the time I saw him again, he was a shell of the person he once was. He hadn't just lost weight, he'd lost sparkle. And I could feel it. He missed the world, but he had convinced himself the world didn't miss him. If you're in that place or know someone who is, please know this. Connection doesn't have to mean loud parties or crowded events. It can be a simple smile exchanged with a neighbor, a short walk where you wave at the mailman, a phone call to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Human connection is medicine, not just for the soul, but for the body. Studies have shown it lowers blood pressure, sharpens memory, even increases lifespan. But beyond the science, there's something else. It reminds us that we still matter, and you do matter. No matter what your age or your circumstance, there is someone out there who would light up just to hear from you. I know this might feel a bit heavy, but it's coming from a place of deep care. Because the truth is, we can go a long time surviving, but not really living. And that's not what you deserve. Not after all the years, all the giving, all the living you've done. Let's pause here for now. In the next part of this video, we're going to explore something that most people completely overlook, but it impacts every part of your health and happiness more than you realize. So if any part of this spoke to you, I gently invite you to stay with me for the next section. It only gets more powerful from here. And again, if you feel this message could help someone in your life, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that share button. You never know whose heart it might reach. There's something deeply personal, almost sacred about the way we sleep, or at least the way we used to. Do you remember those nights long ago when you could lay your head down and drift off within minutes? When sleep felt like a warm embrace, and waking up meant rising with energy, not stiffness or fatigue? But somewhere along the way, for many of us, that ease disappeared. Nights got longer, sleep became lighter. We began waking up too early or not at all refreshed. And over time, we told ourselves, this is just how it is now. I'm older. That's life. Shumon. But here's the truth most people never tell us. Poor sleep isn't just a symptom of aging. It's often a result of how we treat our evenings, how we treat ourselves in those final hours before bed. Too many nights, we carry our worries to bed like an extra pillow. We scroll through news or TV, trying to wind down, only to feel more restless. Or we sip tea too late, snack just before lying down, and wonder why our hearts feel heavy and our minds won't stop racing. And slowly, without realizing it, the night becomes a battlefield rather than a place of peace. What many people don't know is that the body, even in its later years, still craves rhythm. Just like a child benefits from a bedtime story, a dimmed light, a warm bath, the elder body, too, responds to ritual. It wants to know when to let go. It wants to be told gently, you're safe now. Rest. Without that cue, it stays on alert, wandering through memories, fears, and unfinished thoughts. And here's where the healing begins. When we begin to see sleep not as a loss of time, but as a gift we prepare for. When we take 15 minutes to put down the screens, turn off the harsh lights, and breathe deeply into a space of softness. When we drink something warm, not sugary or caffeinated, but soothing. When we listen to calming music, or better yet, silence. That's when sleep comes to greet us. Not as a stranger, but as a familiar friend. I've seen firsthand how lives change when sleep returns. I've watched eyes regain their sparkle. I've heard stories from people in their 70s and 80s who say, I didn't know I could feel this rested again. The fog lifts, the body heals, the emotions balance, all because they stopped seeing sleep as a struggle and started seeing it as something to nurture. And if you're still watching this video, I want to thank you again. Not just for being here with me, but for caring enough about your well-being to keep going. If you're finding this helpful, feel free to drop a quick "I'm here" in the comments. It helps me know I'm not just speaking into the void, but into real hearts, real lives. Now I want to take you somewhere deeper, not in the physical sense, but into a place we often avoid, even fear, our minds, our thoughts, our mental strength. See, just like our muscles weaken when we stop using them, our minds do too. And it doesn't happen in a dramatic, movie-style collapse. It happens quietly over weeks, months, years, until one day we find ourselves forgetting names, losing interest in reading, struggling to follow conversations. But I want to tell you something that matters. Your brain is not broken. It's just waiting to be invited back into the world of wonder, waiting to be used not just as a memory keeper, but as a tool of joy, curiosity, and creation. The saddest thing we can do in our later years is assume that learning is behind us, that exploration is for the young, that trying something new is too hard, too late, too risky, But the brain doesn't know age. It knows engagement. It knows stimulation. It thrives on surprise, novelty, challenge. And when we stop feeding it those things, we're not just pausing its growth, we're letting it fade. But just like a fire, all it takes is a small spark to bring back the flame. That spark could be a new puzzle, a game, a new skill, a language, a craft, a book that challenges you, a story you've always wanted to write. It could be anything, so long as it asks your brain to show up. I've watched 80-year-olds learn digital photography. I've seen women in their 70s master yoga poses. I know men who started painting after retirement and found a part of themselves they never knew existed. It's not about being the best. It's not about showing off. It's about saying, I'm still growing. That mindset, it's revolutionary. It tells your brain, I'm still alive. I still matter. I still have something to say. And the brain, oh, how it responds. It sharpens, it brightens, it strengthens. And most of all, it gives back a sense of confidence you didn't even realize you'd been missing. So if you've been feeling mentally dull, uninspired, or stuck, please don't accept that as normal. It's not. Your spark is still there, waiting to be fanned into something beautiful. And yet, there's one more thing I want to gently explore with you. Something we all carry, but rarely talk about. Something that sits in the quiet corners of our minds, often growing louder as the years go on. Regret. Regret is a tricky visitor. It arrives uninvited. It whispers late at night. It replays moments we wish had gone differently. Words we should have said or shouldn't have. People we lost. Chances we didn't take. And the worst part? It makes us feel like we can't move forward until we've somehow undone the past. But that's the lie. The past is a closed chapter. What's left to write is everything that happens from this moment on. I know what it feels like to lie awake thinking about old mistakes. I've been there. I've felt that ache. And I know how easy it is to think, if only. But living in those thoughts, that's not healing. That's self-punishment. You don't deserve to live in a courtroom of your own mind. You deserve peace, forgiveness, not just for others, but for yourself. You were doing the best you could with the knowledge, strength, and circumstances you had. And even if you could have done better, punishing yourself now won't change yesterday. It will only poison today. I truly believe that one of the most freeing things you can do, no matter your age, is to let go of regret. Not forget, but release. Hold it in your hands, thank it for the lesson, and set it down. Then turn your eyes and your heart toward the light that still shines ahead. There is still time. There are still days. There are still memories waiting to be made. And perhaps, just perhaps, the peace you've been seeking doesn't live in the past. It lives in your choice to begin again, right now. So here we are, at the close of this quiet conversation. Just you, me, and a few simple truths laid gently between us. Maybe as you listened, something stirred. A memory, a realization, a small spark that said, yes, that's me. And if it did, then I want you to know, there is no shame in that, no guilt, only an open invitation. Because recognizing what no longer serves us is the first, most powerful step toward a better chapter. And that's what this is really about. Not judgment, not fear, but freedom. Freedom to move again, to reach out again, to sleep peacefully again, to think with clarity again, and most of all, to live without the heavy weight of regret dragging behind you. We've talked today about 5 things, 5 gentle thieves that creep into our lives unnoticed, but they can be stopped, not with force, not overnight, but with awareness, with small acts of courage, with kindness to ourselves. You see, aging isn't about fading. It's not about becoming less. It's about refinement, like a beautiful piece of wood that, over time, shows deeper grain, richer tone, greater strength. You are not disappearing. You are becoming. And if you take anything from our time together today, let it be this. It's never too late to begin again. Never too late to walk outside and feel the sun on your skin. Never too late to pick up the phone and reconnect. Never too late to learn or unlearn. Never too late to forgive. Never too late to say, I'm here and I still matter. Because you do, so deeply. You matter to those around you. you matter to the world. And if no one has reminded you of that lately, let me be the one to say it now. If this message spoke to you, even in the smallest way, I gently ask that you share it with someone you love. A friend, a neighbor, a sibling, someone who might be walking a similar road in silence. You never know how a simple video, a quiet voice, a moment of honesty might open a new door for someone else. And if you'd like to stay on this journey with me, this journey of wisdom, strength, and rediscovery, please consider subscribing or just leaving a comment below. Let's build something kind together. A little corner of the world where growing older means growing deeper, not dimmer. Thank you for spending this time with me. I see you. I honor your story. And I hope that from this day forward, you begin to walk a little lighter, stand a little taller, and smile a little more. Knowing that your best years might still be ahead, not behind. Take care of your body, tend to your mind, nurture your spirit, and never stop believing in the quiet power of change. I'll see you in the next video.